It's Ramsey Dewey over here in Shanghai, China. Welcome to another edition of Q&A with the Coach. First, shout out to the channel sponsor NoGiBJJGear.com. Go check him out. Use my code Ramsey10 for 10% off everything. They've got fantastic rash guards, shorts, spats, and other training equipment. Everything you need at the gym. On with the questions. Our friend M says, question for you, Coach. Do you think that the recent failures of traditional Chinese martial arts in the modern combat sports medium could be a result of the Chinese government effectively dumbing down traditional styles, restricting what they teach, in an attempt to stop future rebellions? Kind of like a Chinese version of American gun control laws. I don't know if you will be allowed to answer this, but it was just a thought. Thanks, Coach. What's that, Chinese government? I can answer this one? I've got your permission? Okay. Yeah, it looks like I can totally answer this one because the Chinese government doesn't own Google. So, yeah, man. The dumbing down. Okay, I imagine what's happened here is you've probably seen a bunch of these bum fights on the internet where some bum who doesn't know how to fight but claims like some lineage in some traditional Chinese kung fu style goes out there and gets beat up by a dude who knows how to fight a little bit. Like this started with Xu Xiaodong fighting this basically a magician, like what was his name? Wei Lei. Did literal magic tricks with like birds. I don't know what it was, like making a bird come out of his butt. I don't remember what that was, but he was basically a magician who pretended to be a Tai Chi expert. Got in an argument on the internet with Xu Xiaodong, like a retired MMA fighter, and they got in a fight and he got the crap beaten out of him. And so a lot of people on the internet started chiming in saying, Kung Fu sucks, Kung Fu doesn't work, boo, Chinese martial arts, boo. And in defense of Chinese martial arts, a bunch of other dudes who didn't know how to fight but claimed a lineage in a Chinese martial art were like, oh, we must defend the honor of our style and our system. And so they get more bum fights with more guys who know how to fight a little bit, and they get beaten up. And it's just a matter of guys who don't know how to fight but think they do getting in fights with guys who know how to fight a little bit and then getting beaten up, because that's what happens when you don't know how to fight but you think you do. What does this have to do with the Chinese government? Nothing. Nothing at all. I know there's this narrative going around the internet that the Chinese government is trying to... I don't know what they're saying the Chinese government is doing, but I don't think the government cares, man. I don't think the government cares. What else did you ask in this question? The dumbing down of traditional styles in an attempt to stop future rebellions. Whoa. Future rebellions? Because if the Chinese people knew Kung Fu, they would rebel against the government and be able to fight with their bare hands against armies with firearms. Yeah, that didn't go over so well during the Boxer Rebellion. I don't care how good you are at hand-to-hand combat. Man, if you put a bunch of hand-to-hand combat experts, if you put the world's best hand-to-hand combat experts, you know, the greatest UFC fighters, kickboxing champions, Krav Maga experts, whatever, you name it, put those guys against a bunch of wimps with knives. And the wimps with knives are going to win that war. No, I don't think the government is worried about a bunch of Kung Fu nerds causing an uprising and a rebellion. Oh man, this question is precious. But M, my friend, I'm not making fun of you. I know there's a lot of misunderstandings about China. I have so many people ask me all these crazy questions about China because they really don't know, because they've heard a lot of pretty out there propaganda about what it's like in China, and man, I've heard some crazy things about what it's supposedly like here. I don't know, man. So, maybe I should just make more videos about what it's actually like living in China. I did have an idea. Tell me in the comments if you like this one. I love the movie, one of my favorite martial arts movies of all time, The Chinese Connection. Bruce Lee movie. That may come as a surprise to the Bruce Lee worshippers out there who get mad at me for the videos I have made debunking stupid myths about a man I admire and mistaking that as hatred for the man. No, absolutely not. I love Bruce Lee and I love his movies. And The Chinese Connection, I love that one. The story takes place in Shanghai. The movie was filmed in Hong Kong, but the story takes place in Shanghai. And the locations, like the park with the sign that said, "No Chinese and no dogs allowed," that sign, the real thing was different. Like, that actual sign wasn't up there. But the park, that was a real place. And it did have a sign, said something a little different. And, what was it, the Qingwu School, where Bruce Lee, where his character Chen and his friends trained, that was a real place, and it is here in Shanghai. I would like to take you guys on a field trip and go check that place out and see some of the sights from the Chinese Connection. So, yeah, that's here in my hometown in Shanghai. That is a thought I've been having in my mind. Let me know if that is something you would be interested in seeing. You know, some of the historical... What am I going to call this? The Chinese Connection historical tour. If you guys want to take that together, let me know down in the comments below. Anyway, if you have questions about China, what is it like living in China? Is the government breathing down your necks watching what I'm posting on YouTube? Oh. Or whatever you want to know. Let me know. Let me know in the comments down below. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Now get out there and train.